Welcome all the viewers in the Eggon Nation. This is specific topic on Eggon profile, far back their culture, doctrine, because culture speaks by itself, and names has a meaningful in Eggon land, not only Eggons. In whole Africa, the names has a significance for people. African names their kids, their great-grandparents' name, or the name that will give them motivation, spiritual background that will fight their battles psychologically, spiritually, and physically. By hearing somebody like Adbloyt Abashi, Abashi, Ako, a creamy, a crackler, this is the Eggon profile. I wear crow. I wear creamy. I wear crow back. I wear crow. I wear clap. I clap. I wear gorilla. I play gorilla. I wear mago. Hello mago. So this is the Eggon Proverbs. It don't matter why the younger generation will try to get kind of names that doesn't suit our own spiritual and physicality. When you heard somebody name in Africa, that name stands for significance, something that will motivate he or she his spiritual battle, physical battle, just like the names I mentioned. And the Eggon says, that stands in significant doctrine by saying water is life and a human being is life, part of the water. That's what it stands for. My won't wear my clothes or somewhere. My clothes, my one, Mamba Manga, my lunas la shaba. Yes, lunas lolo. Eklama po one yalongo spolo. And once you low school, Gamma, or common you have a special reserve weapons. To see my people back home in Nigeria, Eggons are so tiny, the middle belt. Out of 200 and something million in Nigeria, Eggons are maybe just 4 million or 5 million, something like that. The amalgamation was started to recognize 1865, whereby the first king of Eggon, his name is Bashayi, and the second one, who just passed away 3 years ago, Dr. Bala Angbazi. And the next of king should take over from Bala Angbazi, which as a monarchy system, the kids take over from the parents. But today, things is kind of swapping, but it depends on the people. And systematically, if things is like saying they might be looking for someone who is weaponized with all kind of judiciary system. And now we have the father called retired Justice Ahmed Alaku Ubangari. And he's now the third Eggon king in Nigeria worldwide. And associated with our brothers and sisters, kings, queens in different files, first class, second class, third class, and the words as we have the profile of Eggons. Eggon were classified as a three clans. You have Eggon, Eggon Usu. So these three, they form the Eggons. People may ask why are they three? For my little understanding, is the accents. Eggon has a different accents. Eggon Usu has different accent. Eggon has something different accent. Come closer. They want to name themselves again for let the people understand. Some were called Wangibi, some were called Wana, some were called Luklu, some were called Wakama, some were called Enda, some were called Enva, Eggon, Luklu, Eggon, Wana, Eggon, Wangibi, Eggon, Wulugo, and Washa. All those so on and so forth, chieftains in different ranks, is due to the area they were on. Everyone has an accent. Just like the few word Wangibi has a different accent, Wana has a different accent, Wakama has a different accent. Just like I had a little word from Wakama and ran Ado. That is Wakama. And another one give you say Aren Eggon. Another one, I ain't big on hala. That is Mbashu. So you can see the accent, they are all different. And the clan of Eggon that is the real swan, which they cultivate rice and yams. It stands for whereby the kind of a swami area, and they cultivate mostly rice and yams. In Eggon's culture, proliferation is being now portrayed, and we should indoctrinate our children. Education is a key. The journey must continue, but it's not for everyone. Why? First of all, these 5 fingers are not equal. You understand that? Second, some were born naturally with talent, skills, academically, without stepping into a class. Some were born and they have to go to the school and study to a certain level. And coming up to a certain level of ages, the ages prove it with your studies. Without no studies, the life teaching is education. Traveling is teaching. Hardship is teaching. Endurance is teaching. Pure heart of love is a teaching. Mental gymnastics, psychological training, discipline is part of education. Traveling is part of education. Education is not only being in the class. Some people passed their primary school, and some went to secondary school, teachers college, and some went to polytechnic, technical school, and some went to apprentice, some went to college of education, some went to university. For all this classification of an institution, but most of our brothers and sisters, they eliminate what is called apprentice because it says kind of dirty work, like mechanic or publishing. You stain yourself with old inks and publishing newspaper invoice and all that. So these are all institutions of learning, but mostly our youth target for only sitting in the class is a study for education. They really don't classify a mechanic, a welder, or a publisher, or a farmer, or poultry, so on and so forth. Consider there as a part of study. You may not physically write it on the piece of paper, but your body's kinetically practicing potentially is even quicker to memorize than to write down something. When we eat, we drink, we smoke, we wake up. What you write down sometime you may forgotten until you go back again, take that damn piece of paper and open it and click to the memory. But something, a welder, mechanic, publisher, so on the rest of the skills, footballer, athletes, they don't have to open any piece of paper to see that to get through in life. All is in their body, It's embedded in their body. It's right there written in their brain. So that is the differentiation between study or practice. When you practice, it's called apprentice, but people don't like to hear that apprentice because they claim it's kind of low institution or their timing to be in the class and take the pen and write and know how to steal the government money. Sure, we would like to have doctors, nurses, pilots, lawyers, engineers, so on and so on. Yes, but we are not going to be doing this at the same time. Everyone has something to do for living. One will go north, one will go south, one will go east, one will go to west. And together they came, everyone has something to exchange. The service for life in our community, in our local government, in our state, in the country, and that is how it works. So, this is a profile of Eggon's youths. The amalgamated was well known from somewhere 1865, where we had our first king, Eggon Abashi, as the first. Second, Dr. Bala Angbazi. Third, Justice Ahmed Alaku Bangari. We have 3 kings since that 1865. This is the time the Western came from London, and this is the time Middle Belt were not really discovered. Nigeria far back 1960 when our forefathers, Dr. Nnamdi Ezekwe, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the 3 brothers here that tried to get the Federation Republic of Nigeria. Since then and today, people still thought Nigeria has only 3 tribes. It's because the minority were not counted. But today, ask any Nigerians who know a little bit history, we tell you Nigeria is not only Hausa, Igbo, Yorubas. So, Eggons were discovered in the middle belt of Nigeria, central Nigeria, where Abuja, Plateau, Kogi, Nasarawa State, Benue, and part of Gonga, Adamawa area. This is where the Eggon profile were discovered. And now today, the Eggon profile is enlarging, spreading. The sons and daughters of Eggon's land and making the world to know it's not only Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba in Nigeria. Most of the shows I did in Europe and America and Jamaica. What is Eggons? Well, this is the tiny tribe, and Eggon is the tribe. I am the little tiger, and I'm gonna bring a lot of young tigers in Eggon land, worldwide. Eggons in Nigeria, they are peaceful people. Eggons, very quiet. Eggons don't take anything from someone land. Example, and any of the Eggons, sons and daughters, go to in any state in Nigeria, they will never proclaim to overrule them. He or she consider herself or himself as stranger. He don't want any kind of depravity whereby it takes someone right from that state. Eggon will never take your spot. Eggons will never have a time to conquer someone land they came from. Character. But if you dare try the Eggon land, you are welcome to the red zone state in Nigeria. I'm not just talking as if I thought only Eggons in Nasarawa state. No, we have about almost 15 tribes in Nasarawa state, but majority I think is Eggons, Alago, Idoma, Mada, Nunkum, Patana, Lindre, Tiv are part of Nasarawa too, but some of them are mostly Kogi. We have Igala, so on and so forth. So what I'm saying here, let me hit the point. Our culture started to diminish. Why am I saying that? It's because our kings, our leaders, they believe on what they believe. Nothing wrong. You can be Muslim, you can be Hindu, you can be Christian, you can be anything, atheist, anything. But if you wear that crown, the title of any of those tribes in Nasarawa state, you must have the portrait of that tribe. I'm not against any one religion. No. Religion is your right. Just like what I eat is my right, and you can't force me. So religion is that way. But when you are given a title to be the king of a certain tribe, I'm not just talking about Eggons. No. A lot of other tribes in Middle Belt, Jukuns, Angas, Biron, Thieves, Idoma, Igala, Mada, Batana, all they have to show. If you're a Christian in any tribe in Nigeria, Muslim in any tribe in Nigeria, you must show that portrait. For example, if you represent Alago King, or Lindre King, or Idoma King, or Igala King, or Mada King, or Eggon King, you must show the portrait on you, not your religion. I have nothing against your religion, it's your right. But to come to a palace with the king taking the title of that tribe and seeing other culture overrule the place without any of the tribe he represent. Maybe he is a Christian and he dominates with only the photo of Jesus Christ and churches in the palace. And maybe he is a Muslim, he only has the portraits of Muslim design, written words all over. So here we ask him, which of this you represent? Do you represent the religion, or you represent the tribe that they put you in charge to be the king or the queen? That's what Eggons are asking right now. Remember, I don't have nothing against your religion. I respect religion. I will always defend my religion. And the same thing for everyone must defend his or her religion. But take for example, I'm a Hindu or Buddha or atheist or agnostic, Muslim or Christian. My tribe are wearing this type of cultural dresses, and our words must be written on the background of the palace, written the type of that tribe. The doctrine should be written on the wall. It doesn't matter any tribe. It should show the portrait of that tribe, not your religion. Your religion is your personal. You can decorate your own room full of, cover all, whether you're a Christian, let all the Jesus Christ photo and God photo cover your room that you lay your head. But the palace, people come in to see the king that represent that tribe. That palace must be decorated fully with that tribe traditional words, doctrine, culture. And that is how the culture speaks, and that is how the culture lives, and that is the philosophy of culture. So, do we all understand that? I'm not against no one religion. I'm not talking direct to anyone, but I'm saying we must amend, and our younger generation must take part, stand for this. If I be a king of a tribe, or you watching become a king of your own tribe, and your religion is Buddha, Hindu, or atheist, or Christian, or Muslim, and you go there and decorate your own religion, the whole world is covered with your religion. There is exclamation mark if it is not question mark. That means you are representing your religion, or you are representing your culture, your religion respectfully. You must never give it up, ever, never. Then your portrait of that tribe must be on the wall. Parables of your tribe, like Eggon parables on the wall. Pictures of Eggon battle to fight, to stand for their land, not your religion. If you are a Christian, or Muslim, or Buddha, or Hindu, atheist, agnostic, you must keep your religion, but your religion must be decorated in your place in your head. But the palace, it must show the doctrine, the culture, doctrine you represent respectfully.
Ganga sungwa mu de choma me gulu de yesu mani she tamama nganga mu lanza kenaba lishe tamama ngala losha mala me gun na che lo ka lo ne gulu ne tun de boko ambo arashi ne de me de ai di mela luhi adra la poloyi na kwenye zola drazga ga abaga mamudu wallahi o ko le be fresh like move lanza ko ani mo lu de me na ni ku alo mo la gbada na sun go ko mo wa pa na yi ana lu le gbogbo to into now there is where I became a Christian. Bana na wunguri bana chiko ina ba racha shaka na kama na haka koko safi kuba mechi ila shaka ko mi to
these people are imperialists. They are bent on total destructions of other languages. What is Galadima? What is Serkinyaki? What is Ubandoma? The dressing of the palace guard, which is not depicting the Eggon tradition at all.
Let's start with the palace guard. People look at tradition as if it is fetish.
Or it's a sin.
But let me tell you, Christianity, Islam as you call it religion, is the culture and tradition of their people. We don't kill, we don't do human rituals. So what is wrong if we observe our traditions and culture?
In this edition, we have two eminent scholars that have done very serious research work on Eggon.
I discussed with him and I said, don't you think something is missing?
Should just on to his people, start the correction now. If we don't want this issue of extinction that is already going.
If we observe of recent, the youths, they are busy chasing modernization. What becomes of this in the near future?
You must be proud of your culture.
The vast majority of Eggon people, they are angry. They keep saying that that is the beginning of the extinction.
Tambo hipo nga hogman le kuku chikilo a kutume su no ndamala mahanga
Yes, we go.
ko baka ba mahanga gibe su guchima mahanga ku ayyuka wanda ya kamata ikulo ekulo makale spumbo ne nuno ka je boba he kaji fuka lele yelo kana the bisu mishimo tamama ne that's all olo kama yule ba mo lecture ziara buko saki kuna zungu ziara ni ende zuwa kuna ba ona bi ko ku igardama bi ku mo gbeshwe bi ku mo bi amun ba haka ba abin da aka kuna yi nan kar ku gan kamar dubu zilo to kun ya bi shimo suku orientation imbo isu bu orientation tamama yi ko be gelo music ba kala we bo toka da wuhi acho mo titi be lo wa tamoma le tamoma
Na kana to malo na ka kama ne baba ina ba ko mo tle mo ho ne ma pa tambaya tungu
atambaya
ne ba hasalo ma ne to le ma kama yesi ma pa hambu se ne ka ya lamba to na to halijana
baba
ne ko
amun la platin baba mo tuka wa ni nyai ha daga ho nalo sin sarapuna ne ai lu ma pa
la ma bambala zama ne ma priest ama priest shine mai yin ada dauda shine sarki duka mama annabawa masu kawo sako Allah mama
so a member pa ni me baba àwọn wọn Yesu le solution le polo lagu àwọn solution ke shanga àwọn oko mo yin oko le po kama mo su mo to chin wo kana chin wa he me babu mo chi mo mangambole Yesu ko halo chin ka me he lambo me asala yi dina mo kwambe masala ba pastor chinyi la na kwa wazi de me eba Yesu pastor la chapo na mambra na mbolo no titi around 1980 koko 81 shine me ha Yesu ichi ufondo ngo ngabo karatu heka masala ka amba me epolo ibi koko akuni wazi ne amadu estimira amadu mama mo su ba ka dimi de choma me pinto ko mo ni arni aka to ma su ni damo ama ni shi bo na bi mo dine to mari mo dine to amadu an zan ki ama baba wuta ci ale ci na mali ko yanyi la ka ko so baba everything one doesn't put it na na da kana es ko ne ba kai su gaba ne pas to cin aba ara tinga ba ko nzu eyesu amako anizo mama o do metro ko kombo mole lo zuni bile maba zuni kala mini amana metiti pokwa de akwa ya mumba o do mele de mi o do keken musina aka agulanza atunsia awayima agulanza kafi mu hankara bangal mama to gorin ba ko mun zo da isi ba so ba ta kalma kafa ata kana ji catholic na goma catholic na ba ji maka mai la ko maki abala dimi wa kina madai ala kingo mo ka catholic ni no ma la fi mu ba ko makso ba ko kami ba ko biku ba ko biku Okolonga mais Dieu m'a dit longa non non de mabro il faut je dans le pas madame machine de petit mota mais ta carte nga c'est visible ba kolome je na ba ko ye makane mo de ka bayanga mo ba discover de chomo ma de di number mas ko di ma tout le monde de blanza what how I think abo zimazga mapama ho ishi wa hakimi mada mun sami ko ko hakimi abahi mala na akwa sala ami ga an bro me sala mo filikiru chua men ama yidima basala esku dira modu ga an me sunga na ga yati ganga sumwa gude cewa ma mai gullu da yesu wani shi ta mama nganga mu lanza kenan ba lishe ta mama ngala losha mala megu na ce doka lo ne gullu ne tun bi boko ambo a rashin da megu adi mela luhi adra la poli na ko yi zola drazga ga abaga mamudu wallahi o ko lebe vesh like move lanza ani mo lu de me ha nga tu alo mo la egwada na su ngo ko mo wa kwa nya yi ana lu le bubo to into now there is where I became a Christian how you know bana na wani guri ba bana jiko ina ba ra cha sha ko na ka no na haka ko safi ko ba meji la sha ba ko ni to me le so ti tun ma mi ti tile me so karanyi so be me digi we wuli ko ha da ba yin ma ko ni gui je ba su masu gui me le yesu ni so chen
Baik na gode bangal wanda ko lambo ka ga bambo na po pa ba ni aje nemno na tama fifi anda ko shi mo anda ko shi ngombo mo anda ko gun ba yesu kuma ba pastor ti ba ska hanyi ve pastor fulu masa ngwa do mo anda ko gun mare de la shkelemala Allah na Ibrahim Allah na Ishaku Allah na Yakubu mataka su manda ko kuma lan ba an yi diska he jami'in gije bambe mu wa deja he ne san ba mo fulu kishimbo jewa hembo lo bara ambo duka wambo fulenji ambo wona he dilo mama pasta fujilo anda ko kuma ba fulu o ko jelo hema gargajiya la kenan ba kizime mutu hawa gargajiya algo me hawa mana sai mo hawa gargajiya ja ugun ekwan juga metna ga baba la ashana gargajiya hami ilu la ngogun mambo yesa gun yesa ra kwa jembo aka kwa jembo gargajiya asgara mo gun algo azbo magi la gargajiya ma pasta mowe moka jesa no ka ye duka wa gargajiya jele sun mon tampo ka church je pa gargajiya ya ko mel hema aha ambutu mo skime gargajiya atra ha gargajiya o kyu mo se amba gargajiya aha wa ko chumbo ama ko le bishine mo hak ma kogun mo se mbu fugu ba hak ma ko me ba ma po mo mo dum de ne na me ba ha ko sambo ese que va va como ho ay la je para go ba ga dile ba dile que se ha ba me mo de esa mo agora dá com uma raia isso aonde dá com तो जिले लो तो तुम बोल कर जेशी तो ये इसी जेंगी वो का ये सुमा
वो है अब अगर का जिम्नो तो नु वदा तो है को मबा zaman nambo to वो ba वो ये zaman ni ma
वो पापा
zaman na ya वो ga mo
को करके से बे को करेगा के मम्बो ये मा सिलो आप मा दुका मा कोलो हमबो मा दिला वो पूरी में मा बा मला को में को हमबो वो कमा को जिमो आई ना ओ कमा
mana duka yes
ये और में को हमबो वो कमा को जिमो ना को ले ये तो है ओ बा ये सुबह में ये के सुबले हकी मा बगले दिबे फमिल mo ye kwa mo ye ka tle mo ye sisi bo ye sisi o lo chechen ba bo cheche je ko mo la lo to tu ka ji so be da ha ma e po me ko le ne ka ne machine me le ko che mi ji me ko lo ji me ko me ji ma yin bo me zu me na ga na da ko du ga na ga it's shi ji lu me ja du ma yin bo
ko ko le me ka
yes eto abogole belulo yi ngata kono kuma man dos ganga aba abuga jahi ma di jallo de yi ka jela takami ma la gamelo ma la de yi a kuma re sero na da mu babu tambo man da ko ma kama babu o ko aya pula ko baba la cha tumara ti e bi mo yi le mi kula sha no bo mo ko ka mbo akwa ka luka mbo akwa pa luka ka hello ba bo luka ka hello le me mo ka no mo ka ba hai ki maksa ga shi mbo malaka kama ara ka akwa fe ka mbo
awa
akwa mi lo de to ka akwa ba je kulo da gi na da ko le mo ma ko me amanda ku gwenji mare Israel ba ador ha ma boko mambo manjira ma kama pulel ma ha ma ba par he kala ari ha ba par he kaza ha ba poka he amma ma gulu ma mele sko yimbo ma la ta sko ba ka kula ba ha ma la poka manjira ba misale oguji ade adra di mero gako kwaja o gako hello mala ma pa ala pa apollo adi me la de me kame na ha yesu o ga akwaya mala jesu ugun akwaya opo na ha re ambugule le me agbe je kan ga kwa di na la na ambo ga kwa yesu fun ro de mi no bimi egbo ga otunga apo bu yesu yin o di bo yesu atana mi no kame bu yesu sa so mari he mala yi masra ba masala ka ba je be le de mi mamba kala la wa jinje chinga ma halo mahala bwa mama jibela hay yesu jimelo to mana silba gamelo ma enjgo ku ma enjgo ku chibe ma yingo bo mena meti makena ma buleyi ma ga ko hello ma duka ma ga ko la matela di asko ma akamata patare he asko ma ma duka ma ngboka mukama ma duka ma jibje baba mas ga ba sabre ke shara ba wani ba o ma gumino ma kala o je bala o ka halanji to chike jille ko cha ai genimbo e akula la ko nga mayimela ko tmala ha nyama mala chiga ba ya kula he a zamani ji han ba abage o bo yesa ba mole yesa la akula amba ga ba ko tmula ni ma sa da mare la ka anga ya mo la ka ko spoko he akula den zebu abanga la de ji lala wo ama lo mo lo po mo side anga gogola nga to ko zibula ko tum ai ko le pa ji anga ko zibula de mi aya ko le ni kena no do ka ri mes ga kame no ka me ri mes ga kame o dra mo le chika ba ni ai ni ha ko la ba je ko ba ji chila bona la wa ji shine embra he ma chila ko ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́hẹ̀ bọ̀ àwọn fọ àmọ̀jí ẹbí ọ̀pọ̀ kàmí àwọn ọmọ kan bọ́ ọkọ̀ fún iná káwọ́ iná bọ́ pọ̀ kábẹ̀ mi kàjí ṣe mi jẹ́ bá mi pàlùkọ̀ jìrì ń bọ́ ẹ̀rẹ́ni ẹ̀rẹ́ àlùkọ̀ yìí bọ́ ogun lè rà àlùkọ̀ bọ́ ogun rà àlùkọ̀ bọ́ wọ́n sọ wẹ́ẹ́ kọ̀ tógun wọ́n wúlò
You know you have not done what you ought to do. Start doing it on that seat. Don't give it time. Start, at least start. You may finish it later, but at least what? Start. Because many times we only don't finish because we never started. So you identify yourself. You look at yourself and say, this is me. This is something I've seen about my life. Start. Start. People are only honored and rewarded for what they do, not what they think. People are only honored and rewarded for what they do, not what they think. Procrastination doesn't just steal time, it steals vision.
What's your name?
John, sir.
Amen. This is wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
When I was Minister of Information, I started a campaign on what you call made in Nigerian shoes, made in Nigerian fabrics, made in Nigerian goods. I started a campaign on radio and television, and I used to do exhibition. I've always insisted as a leader that any country that cannot produce at least 50 to 60% of its goods is not a serious country. If this shoe now is taken to anywhere in the world, whether it's Italy, Brazil, US, anywhere you take these shoes, nobody will believe that this shoe is made in Eggon local government as our state, Nigeria. Nobody will believe that this shoe is made in what Mama village. Nobody will believe it.
Don't worry, sir.
I want to beg you, don't lower the standard. Let none of your shoe be worse than yesterday. Don't look at money. Look at satisfying the needs of people. Like this shoe, I find it very comfortable in my leg. It is fitting, it is comfortable. What's the name of that your brand?
JT shoes, sir. JT shoes.
JT shoes. JT shoes. JT will conquer the entire universe.
Amen, sir.
I want to wear shoes made in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
And I'm calling on Nigeria. Our boys, our girls are doing well. Let us promote them. I don't want to see any leader in Nigeria wearing foreign things. We should wear our own shoes, wear our own local dresses. They need promotion. To make sure that we do not relax, we do not go back. So I am very, very proud of you. Nigeria really doesn't need to tell you. So I pray that the government of the day and give you encouragement.
You want it all, I wanna be nice. You want it all, I wanna be nice. Because of you, and you come to me. You come to me, I come to you. You support this, spread it all around. You support this, spread it all around.